This is a yoga routine for if you're in a walking cast. So you're at the point where you're off crutches, you can walk some. If you're totally non-weight bearing, I have some other videos on my page for that stage, but this is where you're able to put some weight on it, but are still in the cast and wouldn't be ready for all the standing and balance poses. So if you experience any discomfort, please just back off and wait till you're a little further along in the injury, and I hope that this is transitioning us back to our regular yoga practice.
Begin lying on the back, knees bent, feet on the floor, arms by your sides, palms facing up. Begin by taking a few deep breaths, feeling the belly and chest rise on the inhale and drop on the exhale. We're going to begin with a gentle movement of just inhaling the arms up overhead, maybe all the way to the floor behind you. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhale, arms come down. Continuing at your own pace, linking the movement and breath, starting to warm up the shoulders. Keep it kind of deliberately slow, feeling the beginning, middle, and end of the movement. One more element to it. When you inhale, you'll lift not only the arms overhead, but also your hips will come up off the floor, like we were doing a bridge. Exhale, hips come down, arms comes back by the sides. Inhaling, lifting the body up. Exhaling down. Again, keeping it nice and slow. Back extension should feel nice. Coming as high as is comfortable. We're not really warmed up yet, so you may not want to come as high as you do in full bridge. Again, through this whole practice, make sure there's no discomfort, especially through the injury. Inhale, we'll stay up for a few breaths, trying to get some of the curve into the thoracic spine, mid-back area. And exhale, slowly bringing the vertebrae down one at a time, and the arms by the sides. Take a breath and relax here. Come up to seated and have the hands behind you, fingertips facing forward. You can turn the fingertips out to the side if that feels more comfortable. And we'll go to a pulsing table. So inhale, lifting the body off the floor. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Keeping the movement and breath linked. Feeling the beginning, middle, end of the movement. Warming up the shoulders, the wrists. Opening through the solar plexus area and the chest, and also the legs. And then we'll we'll stay up here for 5 deep breaths, spreading the shoulders open, looking at the ceiling if it's okay on the neck. Slowly exhale down. Make your way onto hands and knees. You can grab the blocks. And also, I should mention, add some knee padding. I forget mine here and have to get it in a moment, but either an extra mat or a towel. You can also do this without blocks, but for most people, blocks will give you a little more space through the chest. So we'll look forward, right knee is forward, shoulders are back, hands are either on the blocks or on the floor. And then on the exhale, we're going to pull your hips back, straightening to some degree the right leg. Inhale, pulsing back to low lunge. Exhale, pulling the hips back, letting the toes come off the floor. We'll do this 10 times, alternating stretching the hip flexor and quad of the left leg and the hamstring and calf through the right leg. Continuing the pulse. And I'm not getting my right leg all the way straight, just to start to open up the hamstring here. And then we'll stay forward. You have your balance, you can put your hands on the knee. And with the cast foot, it's not really possible to keep the whole foot pressing down. Just do your best. Square the hips forward. You can gently lengthen the tailbone down if that feels good. And bring the arms overhead, interlacing them except the first 2 fingers. Reaching up, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, arms back down by the sides, either to the floor or the blocks. And then we'll pull the hips back, press forward with the sternum. So you don't really want to be leaning down here. You're trying to expand the spine forward. And almost have a little feeling like up dog through the upper body. For most of us, the knee will still be somewhat bent unless you're ultra flexible through the hamstrings. And only coming to about 80% of your potential here. Inhale back to low lunge. And we're going to turn the left block. You can either turn it flat, put the palm down, or put the palm right on the mat. And lift the left arm up for right arm up for lunge twist here. If you'd like, you can curl those left toes under and lift the left knee off the mat. Again, making sure this is not too much pressure for the injured foot. Opening the chest to the ceiling. Looking up if it doesn't hurt the neck. Exhale, bring the knee down. Extend the left arm up. Exhale, the left arm across the right knee. Bring the hands to a prayer. And using that like a lever to open up. If you'd like, you can lift the back knee off the ground if you have your balance. Again, making sure this is not irritating the injury. So stepping it up quite a bit from non-weight bearing. Exhale, the knee comes down. Hands back to the mat. Hands and knees. And here you can either press back into child's pose or set up for downward facing dog. So for down dog, you want to press a whole handprint into the mat. Send the hips straight back. Rotating the inner arms up, outer arms down. Try to keep the natural curve, a little bit of an arch in your low back so you're not rounding. Exhale back to hands and knees, and we'll begin the other side. So bringing your left foot forward, and you may want knee padding. Hands onto either the blocks or the floor. Inhaling forward, exhale, pulling the hips back. Continuing that 10 times. Inhale, looking up, shoulders back. Exhale, pulling the hips back. And you don't need to get that front leg all the way straight. Stay forward, bringing both hands to the knee, squaring the hips forward, gently tucking the tailbone down just slightly. Inhaling the arms overhead, interlace them except for the index fingers. Extend through the crown of the head. You can come forward a little if you're not feeling enough of a hip flexor stretch through the right leg. But again, we don't ever want to overstretch. Place is best. Exhaling the hands back down to the blocks and pulling the hips back, and bringing the left leg partly straight, pressing through the sternum, trying to keep the back in its neutral position so you're not rounding down. Instead, we're reaching forward. Inhaling back to center. Turning the right block down, palm flat, or you can get rid of the block altogether. Lifting the left arm to the sky, and if you'd like, lifting that right knee off the ground. Rotating that right bicep forward of your supporting arm. Extending long through the crown of the head. Lunge twist. And imagine someone's coming up behind you with their hands on your hips and squeezing them together. So you really kind of want to be using your muscles to keep that nice and tight. Exhale the knee down. Both hands back on the knee. Extend the right arm up. Exhale, bring the right elbow across the left knee for a twist. You may want to straighten the back leg if you have your balance. So twists are very healthy for the back. Good. Exhale the knee down, coming forward, back to hands and knees. And into downward facing dog or child's pose. And I'm just getting my knee pads that I forgot earlier. I use a rolled up yoga mat. And down dog, making sure we're again pressing through the whole hand, making a nice handprint, not just letting all the weight come through the wrist. And you're keeping the back leg engaged, so it's supposed to be 50-50, the weight through the hands and feet. I find with the cast, I definitely can't do that because I can't really get the same power through that heel. But just try to have the legs at least engaged so it's not 100% of all the weight coming down onto the wrists. Exhale into hands and knees. You'll definitely want knee padding here. Coming up onto both knees. You may want to have a block handy. So we're in a modified Tadasana here, extending through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders, hips straight forward. You're going to bring the right leg out to the side, straightening the leg if that's comfortable. Inhaling the arms to the sides. Exhale, bring the right arm down to the right leg and pulling that left arm towards the ear, pulling through the fingertips. And you want to try not to lean any weight on that right hand. It's just resting there. You're using your core to keep you up. This is Parigasana, the gate pose. Opening the chest to the sky. Inhaling, pulling the body up back to center. Exhale, bend that right knee. You may want to use your block here, putting it on the inside of the right foot. Bring your right hand down to the block. Move the block to a lower setting, or just move the block out of the way, pressing that shoulder into the knee, sort of the feeling of extended side angle pose, Utthita Parshvottanasana. And bring the left arm down closer to the left ear. And pull the arm straight for a beautiful side waist opening. And keep opening the chest up. Inhale, pulling the body up back to center. Exhale, left hand comes all the way down to the floor, rotating the left bicep out. Right arm up. And if you have your balance, you can float that right leg up for a modified Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. If you have your balance, you can look up, keeping the glutes engaged. Exhale, bring that right foot down to the ground. Right arm comes down by the ear, looking up, and get a beautiful, nice long stretch. The foot and the fingertips are pulling away from each other. Inhaling the right arm to center, coming back up to center. And we will change sides, so Parigasana on the other side. Take a breath in the center and then bring the left leg out. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, left arm slides down the left leg. Right arm comes closer to the ear, pulling that arm. Trying not to lean any weight on that left hand. Feeling it opening through the side waist and maybe through the inner thigh. Inhaling, coming up to center. Exhale, bending that left knee. And you may want to use a block. Hand comes down onto the block on the inside of the left foot. And turn the block lower. You can just move the block out of the way, have the fingertips or hand on the mat right next to the left foot. And maybe bringing that left arm down to the ear, opening the chest, feeling a hip opening, side waist opening, using that back knee and arm like a lever. To center. Exhale, right arm comes down to the floor, left arm straight up. And if you have your balance, we will bring that left foot up, floating in a kneeling version of Ardha Chandrasana. Looking up if that feels good, looking forward or down. Bring the left foot to the floor. Left arm comes by left ear, chest opens, and pulling the fingertips and foot away from each other. And this should feel just like a really good side waist opening for the whole body. Inhaling the left arm back up. Inhaling the whole body back to center. Exhale, coming back to hands and knees. We'll transition to a little upper body strengthening here. So you'll be on your knee cushioning, your modified push-ups, hands a little wider than the mat, right leg up, and exhale down to however feels comfortable for you. If you're still just kind of working on upper body strength, you could either just hold still looking forward, or come down maybe an inch or so. You can come down pretty much the whole way if you are feeling strong here. The lower body is a great time to work on the upper body. Coming back to center, coming up onto the knees, circling the wrists a few times. If you're ever having any serious pain in your wrists, just take a little break from weight bearing there. It's not worth hurting a joint to build muscles. You can stretch Stretch the arms overhead for a counter pose before we go to the other side. Hands down a little bit wider than the mat. This time we'll lift the left leg straight back. Staying high, or inhale, exhaling down 10 times here. Inside of that right foot. Looking forward, pulling the shoulders back. You may be able to scooch the left toes under and bring that knee a little farther back to increase the opening through the hip flexor on the left side. If you have a block, you can try putting the elbows on a block, or maybe you can get elbows all the way down. But again, just want to do what's comfortable. Okay, then look forward. The head relax, and keep the knee pulling into the body. So we're going to be letting it open in a moment. Actually, now we will turn that right foot out away from the body and let the knee drop down now. Come up onto the hands again, looking forward, bending the back left knee, and take your right arm so you can grab the left foot. And then you're going to look over your right shoulder back in the direction of the foot. My favorite moves. It's such a nice opening for your hip, your quadricep, your hip flexor, the back, the shoulder. A lot of things that are tight get worked on all at once here. And look back forward again. Release the foot. Coming on hands and knees. And downward facing dog or child's pose. Shoulders back. And stay here if your hips are tight. You may be able to bring the elbows down onto the block. If that's comfortable, you may be able to get rid of the block and the elbows on the floor. Keep the knee hugging into the body, foot facing forward. Let that left foot turn out away from the body, and you can kind of let the toes come up so you're on the little toe side of the left foot, the knee dropping open. Coming back up onto the hands, lifting that right leg up, if possible taking that left arm to grab the right ankle, looking over that left shoulder. Beautiful twist here. this, especially under the knuckle of the index finger and thumb. Lengthening through the tailbone. We'll exhale onto hands and knees and setting up for side plank. So I'm going to do it on my forearm. You can also do it on the wrist. If you're coming down on your elbow, you may want a little extra padding. So coming onto the side. So I'm going to start with my good foot down and inhaling, lifting the hips up, trying to get as much height as you can. Top arms up. And if you're on your bad foot, you want to make sure that there's no pain. If there is, you can just kind of have the foot limp, let the other leg do the work. So the hips pointed forward, exhaling down. We'll switch right to the other side. So here I initially come up on my bad leg, but it actually hurts quite a bit. So then I quickly realize that that's not feeling good and let the weight go into the other foot. So again, you don't want to have any pain for your injury here. So I'm pressing through my left foot and the right leg is just kind of limp. Trying to get as much height through the hips as you can, so a nice kind of C shape for the lower body. Exhaling, coming down. Making your way onto your back. Or a core sequence here. So bring the arms overhead, stretch, and when you come into your next exhale, we're going to bring the elbows and knees towards each other, maybe the tailbone curling off the floor a little bit. Inhale, expand. Exhale, elbows and knees, and if that's feeling pretty easy, lift your head off the floor too. So inhaling, open. Try not to let the heels all the way touch down onto the ground. Doing 10 of these. Inhaling, open. Exhale, curl the tailbone a little up, elbows and knees towards each other. Again, if the neck gets sore, just do it with the head down. Really squeezing everything together when you come up. This is kind of like coming into a mid-air crow. A lot of the same muscles we'll be using if you're working on arm balances. And then release, feet flat, rocking the head from side to side. Releasing the neck. Coming into bridge pose, Bandhasana. So you'll have the arms down by your sides, feet facing forward. Letting the spine lengthen on the floor and then inhaling the hips up. So it's a little hard in a cast because your hips aren't going to be even. And scooch the shoulders towards each other and interlace the arms. And you're trying to get some of the curve through the thoracic spine. The lumbar spine is staying long. So in other words, you're not trying to just press the belly button to the ceiling. You're trying to keep that area long and have the curve starting a little higher. And we'll slowly exhale, the hips down, arms down. You can either repeat bridge, or if you were already doing wheel before the injury, we can set up for wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana. But if it wasn't part of your regular practice, I wouldn't try it for the first time here. So palms flat by the ears, elbows facing up. First of all, lift up the body, come onto the crown of the head, then straighten the arms coming all the way up. Try not to let the knees splay out. Again, trying to keep the lumbar spine nice and long, letting the curve happen a little higher through the heart center. Exhale, bring the head down and slowly lowering one vertebrae at a time. Hands rest on the belly, knees fall towards each other. You can also let the knees kind of go back and forth a little to release the low back here. And bring my arms overhead, tilt my chin up to recover for a few breaths here. Feeling the energy from back bends. And a simple twist to recover, arms out to the sides, let the knees drop first to the right. And then knees over to the left. It's always good to do a twist after back bends before transitioning to forward bends. Knees back to center and making your way up to seated or Paschimottanasana. So the legs straight in front of you, inhaling the arms up. You want to come forward with the sternum. So feel like you're pressing your belly button, sternum forward rather than rounding down. So for a lot of us, you may not even grab your toes if you're honestly keeping a nice neutral spine. You know, most anyone can grab their toes if they're hunching forward. That's not really great for the low back. So just feeling where you're about maybe 70 to 80% of your potential with the hamstrings here. Inhaling center. Here we have a choice of either starting your hip stretches or coming into a kind of grand finale arm balance. So to set up for this, if you're starting the beginner, just hip opening, we'll have the left foot down on the floor, the right foot crossed over the left knee, arms supporting you behind you, and just stay here. If you'd like to try the arm balance, you're going to bring the right foot up and trying to get the right knee, back of the knee, over the shoulder, lift up the left foot, interlacing the feet, and lifting everything off the ground, coming forward. Great, then back to center, releasing the feet. Good, counter pose, stretching up. And other side, so right foot on the floor, left foot over right knee, hands supporting you behind you. Either staying here or bringing the left knee. Try and have the back of the knee on the left shoulder. Right leg forward, arms pressing down, and it's a little harder for me to get this foot with the cast up. Interlacing the feet, trying to hold yourself up here. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, release. And just for a little counter pose, I'm gonna have the hands behind you, just let the back arch a little bit, look up, spread the shoulders. Good, exhaling. We'll come into double pigeon. So if double pigeon is not quite available to you, your hips are tight, you're going to do a modified version, reclining pigeon, laying on your back, right foot over left knee, can thread the needle. If you'd like to go to a little deeper hip opening, you're going to come into seated, have the right foot on top of the left knee, right knee on top of left foot, look down and see a triangle. So I have my blocks stacked. We're going to come forward with the sternum, lengthening through the spine. And I just come down to, again, my forehead on 2 blocks stacked. You may be able to come all the way down onto the mat. Or some people stay sitting there and still have a pretty deep hip opening from being upright. Again, if it's too much, come into the reclining version. And it will really feel better if you just stay at about 80% of your possibility. We'll slowly come up and changing sides. Left foot comes on top of right knee on top of left foot. Triangle if you look down. You can have the blocks. Pressing the belly button and sternum forward. Come down slowly with this one. So some yoga teachers who are a lot more experienced than me recommend you come down to the same level on both sides. I was never really convinced you had to do that, and so here I'm coming a lot deeper into the other side when I'm able to. And so you can kind of make your own choice about keeping the sides even or coming into your full potential if it's different. And I'm coming all the way down here. Again, you want to come out immediately if there's any discomfort in the low back and do the reclining version, which keeps the spine a little more stable. Inhaling, coming up to center. Exhale, spreading the legs apart for a wide leg forward bend. Nice, we'll lengthen the spine. For a lot of people may just want to be on their hands behind them. This area can be very tight. You're feeling okay, hands in front of you. Belly button and sternum pressing forward. And very gentle with your opening here. Some of you may be able to grab the toes easily, but again, we want to keep length through the low back. Most people can get an opening even if they're not coming down very low. Upta Vishta Konasana. Inhaling back to center, and we'll come into a simple cross-legged position here. Take your time. Coming into a seated twist. So lengthening through the spine. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, left arm to right knee, right arm behind you, looking over the shoulder. Inhaling, arms up, exhaling, changing sides. Inhale back to center, and we'll come down onto getting ready for Shavasana, the final relaxation. So before we come into Shavasana, I'll have the knees bent, feet on the floor, arms either out to the sides or overhead if that's comfortable, tilting the chin slightly up. Feeling the openness through the chest and heart center. Notice the difference in the body from when we were here at the beginning of class. So bring your arms down to your sides. Some people like to keep the knees bent for Shavasana. It's up for you. I'm going to straighten my legs like is traditional. If it bothers the back, keep the knees bent. Arms down by the sides, palms facing up. I'll let go of everything here. Letting the body relax in complete stillness. We'll slowly start to bring some movement back to the body, rocking the neck from side to side, wiggling the fingers and toes. Bring the arms overhead and stretch. Bringing the knees into the body. Come onto the side for a few breaths here. You can make a little hand pillow. And then coming up to seated. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.